This is again Sunday, and thinking about crime. Crime going to continue to escalate in this country. It's because the people that's supposed to be their crime preventing, they are causing the crime to escalate. I'm talking about the government. How is it that you could murder somebody and 5 years later you're still on the street? The amazing thing, the police are doing their part, but the government is way behind. You could have 1,000 murderers on the streets. I don't even know how many judges we got, but I think the numbers is not right. And the interesting part about it, we had 3 prime ministers that as lawyers. One I always watch was Hubert Ingraham because I voted for him. And Hubert screwed us in the courts. He make it hard for the small man to even get justice. I'm talking from a personal point. When it took me $500 to file my paperwork towards Supreme Court for a case, it comes up now to $5,000. So Hubert didn't want the small man from North Abaco to seek justice. He put it where those rich boys can hog up all the time in the courts. Even now, I go to the courts right now. You go to the courts, I see in court, whenever one of those white boys come in courts, Mr. Aubrey, Mr. Sawyer, mine, he ain't got no case, he's just sitting. But because they don't trust anybody, don't trust what they're doing, they ask, Mr. Aubrey, why are you here? Just watching what you do. But they got to call Mr. Aubrey up first. No paperwork on him, but he has to be called to the front. 3 lawyers that were prime minister of this country, and they haven't put enough judges in place to hear these cases in a timely manner. When I was growing up in Abaco, as a young man, you try to get a bicycle first, a motorcycle, a car, or a truck. These fellas ain't got a motorcycle, a car, nor a truck. The first thing they want is a gun. And nobody has told them that gun is they have invented gun for one reason, that is to kill. You can't ride your gun. You can't carry your gun out on a date, but they do. Their claim to fame is to have a gun in their pocket, and that gives them that perceived power. They're just like the members of parliament. They're successful in their field, doctors, lawyers, but they don't feel successful unless they got that blue plate on the back of their car. That causes them to believe that they have maximum power, but the power lasts very short. And you know what the interesting part about that, I saw Mr. Ingraham here yesterday, when you don't have that power, and when you did not do well by that power, you think you could walk into your community. That's why they got these bodyguards, because they know they didn't do well when they had that power. You think Perry Christie could walk through Centerville now without getting scolded or stoned? You think Hubert Ingraham could walk through Dundas and Murphytown by himself? He dare not. Don't mind all that moat he got. Let him walk through Dundas Town and Murphytown without the bodyguard. That is how you tell how well you did by the power that the people give you. And Perry Christie, I wonder if anybody in Centerville while he was Prime Minister was empowered by them sending him to House Assembly. I can speak to the truth in Abaco. There's not one single young man that has been empowered by the power that we give Hubert Ingram. A matter of fact, there's not one single thing in North Abaco that Kai Mills can be proud and said, my man, my humble man, who come from humble beginning, became prime minister, and this what he did for the people of North Abaco that solely supported him for 35 years, 3-time prime minister, never had a constituency meeting in over 20 years, never had an office open that you can get some word up for him, give the money back during the by-election, over $200,000 plus $15,000 interest. That shows you how much he cared about us. And during his tenure as prime minister, that brute made sure that Bakers Bay take everything home to the point that we can't even drive Bakers Bay people while Hubert Ingram was prime minister. You imagine that? Kai Mills voted for Hubert Ingram, and Kai couldn't even take the guests from Bakers Bay, and that continues today. But Hubert got his. Every piece of property, I tell you, and everybody could do the investigation, every piece of property that was sold while Hubert Ingram was prime minister, he got $250,000. Why you think Dr. Ministers came back here and get their $25 million? Say if Hubert could get his own, we could get our own. Perry got our own, but what about the Bahamian people? God, it is unbelievable. The reason I speak is because North Abaco has been without representation for so long. I didn't even want to get involved with that anymore. They burned my car down. You know why? Because Hubert Ingram, he know that Kai is the closest thing, got that same kind of dogmatic position, fair play. You can't tell me no foolishness, but Hubert those want somebody who they could manage. See, him and Darren ain't gonna make it too well because Darren is a military mind, got his own mind. Hubert can't tell him no fool. So that marriage will soon break up. Many of the marriage already broke up. But you imagine being in Abaco for 35 years without representation. It was so bad that Renato Curry, my God, where is Renato Curry? Renato Curry disappeared. Nobody has seen Renato Curry after the election. He has uprooted and left Abaco. We are now still without representation. Look what we got in Marshall, James. James looking for pothole. James, we looking to put you in one of them potholes. If we could find enough pothole, one pothole as big as you, same pothole you're looking for, we can put you in them same pothole. Talking fool, but pothole. I bet any amount of money, the money man that was there putting up James posters every time one fall down, he would put them out. Boy, I just wish that I had that kind of support behind me. James didn't have to do nothing but just show up. Everything was prepared for him. And I saw that wasn't going to work because James was not even a Bahamian. James was an American for 20-some years, an American wife. He has no interest in Marshall at all. But they right there, because he say he red, he take off that yellow. His father, old Monty, I can see him right now. Good looking fella. He's good, better looking than James. And Monty was a stalwart counselor for the PLP. And my boy them, the one that said he was supposed to take over the F&M from his father-in-law, make sure everything good, clean all the yellow off of James, and thought that he put that red shit on him, he would be an F&M. Y'all waste time. All of y'all that read in that line, and vote for Lil James, I know you all scratching your head and say, Lord, why we couldn't see? Because you're blind and cannot see. And James don't give a hell about Mashaba, the people that support him. It's all about James. That is the representation we got in Abaco. The only people that going ahead in Abaco is the illegal Haitians and them expatriates out there in Bakers Bay. They give a little politician a little bit of money and they can do anything. You imagine, again, I just can't, this just, as a law-abiding citizen, I can't see it. I was in court the other day with 7 traffic for parking and picking up people at the Mashaba International Airport. Bakers Bay has not had a disc on their car for 10 years. And them same dumb policemen wouldn't touch Bakers Bay. Bakers Bay is untouchable. No license, no permission. They're on the water carrying people. Y'all that listen to my tape from abroad, it is hard being a Bahamian. Jeff Jones was fired, a black dock master from Bakers Bay, and his wife the same day. And they brought a little boy that was a bartender at the Jib Room. He is an American. And they replaced them by white foreign Americans. That one hurt me, man. They are turning Bakers Bay into little South Africa right in our face, and the government say, go ahead, continue to do so. And indeed so. That $25 million contract that the senior members of the F&M government, the leadership of the F&M government, took from Albury's Ferry and sent 18 million. I see the girls there might feel so sorry for them. They still haven't got a job since the government party, the F&M, took that $25 million contract from them. They still haven't got a job. That is so shameful. I am ashamed of this new government. They have no respect for themselves, no integrity. So why you think crime is the way it is now? If the government party in their first year could come and steal a $25 million contract, what do you think the rest of the poor man can do? And the interesting part about this is these brutes are multi-millionaires. The $25 million ain't gonna make much difference to them. But they showed you that they have the power, they have the greed, and they want all the money. Y'all get the crumbs from the table. And they can tell me the PLP, which was a bunch of crooks and criminals, and to date, nobody has gone to jail. I bet you one thing, if the PLP win the government, some of y'all F&M going to jail. That Bakers Bay deal there alone, that inside trading, that cronyism, is enough to send somebody to jail. Be careful. Crime is on the rise, and the government is getting rich, and the people is getting poorer. Oh, I will love the Bahamas Island, but oh, these politicians are destroying us. Kai cares on a Sunday. Somebody's listening to Kai Mills. The government them never listen, but somebody is listening. That $25 million, that's a hard breaker. That one could cost you the government. You're live on WCAY.